Ya Ali Madad Yaman Saiba.
Wa Ali Madad, subhanallah, subhanallah. What a good practice by friends. It was truly impressive. Very impressive. Beautiful. Good job. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nur Maulana Shah Karim al-Saini Hazriman. Al-Hayyul Qayyum Ali Allah. Al-Hayyul Qayyum Ali Allah. Al-Hayyul Qayyum Ali Allah. سفر مشکل حضر مشکل علی اللہ مدد فرما تجھے معلوم ہر مشکل علی اللہ مدد فرما ضعیف العمر اور بیمار فرائض میں بہت ناچار ضعیف العمر اور بیمار فرائض میں بہت ناچار تو خود دانا ہے یا غفار علی اللہ مدد فرما یہ نفس خود ایک شیطان ہے ہمیشہ ضد ایمان ہے الہی تو ہی رحمان ہے علی اللہ مدد فرما میں نادم ہوں گناہوں سے مٹا مولا میری آہوں سے میں نادم ہوں گناہوں سے مٹا مولا میری آہوں سے دعا ہو خیر خواہوں سے علی اللہ مدد فرما علی اللہ مدد فرما علی اللہ مدد فرما جو تعلیم جن کو دینی تھی میں اس سے رہ گیا غافل جو تعلیم جن کو دینی تھی میں اس سے رہ گیا غافل یہی ہے ایک بڑی مشکل علی اللہ مدد فرما علی اللہ مدد فرما علی اللہ مدد فرما بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم حسبنا اللہ ونعم الوکیل ونعم المولا ونعم النصیر 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 یا مولا مہربان یا مشکل کشا مہربان پلیز ہیلپ اس مولا یا مولا be the light on the tongue of non-cheese مولا یا مولا مہربان مدد فرما مدد فرما مدد فرما. Once again, Ya Ali Madad to all friends. Alhamdulillah, we are studying our new book, Jama'at Khanah. And in this book, Jama'at Khanah, when we start this book, in the preface, we have I Noor, I Misbah. And we just had a beautiful session, and friends participated from all over the world, I would say, from India, from Canada, from USA, learning Pakistan, learning this verse, how to recite this verse in Arabic. So I would say it is truly miracle of Imam that we are gathered here, understanding this verse as well as learning how to recite this verse. I hope that we all remember that this is the verse which Hazimam gave to us to recite during Golden Jubilee. And in our Jamaat Khanas, we were standing up and doing this zikr for 12 months in most of the country. In USA, we did that for 18 months actually. So Alhamdulillah, it is mercy of Imam that we are paying attention to this verse and learning about this verse. What does it mean? What does it say? So Ayah Misbah, first we will review. Okay, it's interesting. The date. Okay, let me open the new version. Give me one moment. So you can see my screen or no?
Ji.
You see Ayah Misbah? Wonderful. Okay. So today we are going to review first and then continue to talk about it more to understand the Tawili meaning of this verse with Mola's madad. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So let us first recite this in Arabic. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu nurus samawati wal arz. مثل نوره كمشكات فيها مصباح المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار يشاء ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس والله بكل شيء عليم. Shukran lillah walhamdulillah. And the translation is in front of us that Khuda Ta'ala says in Ayah Noor or Ayah Misbah that Allah is the light of the heavens and earth. The parable of his light is as if there were a niche, and within it a lamp, the lamp enclosed in glass, the glass as it were a brilliant star lit from a blessed tree, an olive, neither of the east nor of the west, whose oil is well nigh luminous, though fire scarce touched it, light upon light. Allah doth guide whom he will to his light. Allah doth set forth parables for men, and Allah doth know all things. And if we remember, there are very many tawilat of this verse. And we had started to talk about in the last session, and this is the picture. Again, it is important for us to remember this is the niche or tak, which is normally at the higher level of the houses, in which the lamp is kept. And this is the picture of the lamp in olden time. The reason I showed that picture so we understand when we talk about these terminologies. And we had spoken about that, when we read this, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. Heavens and the earth are alluding to the ranks of Hudud-e-Din. It all in current time is within Imam-e-Zaman. through the kulya, through the universal of وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. Everything is encompassed within the manifest Imam. So today we don't have these ranks except Imam, and everything is encompassed within the Imam. It is the personal world of the Imam where everything is within his personal world. It is, and we have to understand when we look at the hududs, and we have talked about hududs ranks in the past, and when we start the ranks from universal intellect, there is a universal soul. So universal intellect is the heaven, and universal soul will become its earth. But then universal soul is the heaven to the rank of the Natik, right? And Imam would be the earth for Natik. But then Asas Imam, the Asas Imam would be the heavens for the rank of the Imam, and so on. Meaning, in other words, what we are saying, we have to understand the higher rank serves as the heaven, and the lower rank serves as the earth. Whenever we talk of the absolute earth, which is the rank of Mustajib, which is the rank of the student, that is the absolute earth, meaning that is the beginning, there is no heavens. That rank cannot be the heavens. It is only the earth, meaning receiving, at the receiving end, receiving knowledge. All these heavens and the earth, everything is encompassed within the Imam. And all these ranks are illuminated by the light of God. When somebody is within these ranks, meaning they start the journey from being the student, they are already on the ladder to reach to the Imam. So it is amazing to realize that when we learn this concept, that this hierarchy, this ladder, starts from the Nur and merges within the Nur. So we understand that all these darajat actually are within the Imam, lit with the light, divine light, both externally and internally. And then we talked about that how this parable of his light is as if there were a niche, and within it a lamp. And we understood this parable that the higher place in our being, in our human being, could be the heart, right? It is human heart. We did talk about the higher place in our house, which is called the niche, right? And where the lamp is kept. In today's time, we will see it in the ceiling, right? The lights are on the ceiling. So it is to denote or allude to the higher place, right? It is the place where Imam, Nur, manifests. So it is in the heart of the moment where the Nur of the Imam manifests. Another tawil would be, it is a place where, sacred sanctuary is manifested. Whenever we talk of heart, the word for heart is qalb, meaning the soul and the intellect is meaning at the same place. And when we understand, when we talk about the highest level in our being, we understand that we have physical being, spiritual being, and intellectual being. And very interestingly, when we talk of sacred sanctuary, the term which we use in our tariqa is taught to us by our peers is Bhamar Gufa, right? Jabin, forehead. This is the place where the Nur manifests, right? Sacred sanctuary, Haziratul Quds manifests here. We had also talked about the word Misbah, which is actually in Arabic, if we were to look into that, it is from Subh. And the word Subh means Subh Sadiq, early morning. So it is actually alluding to the time of the morning, Nurani time ibadat. When a Mu'min and Salik does do the ibadat, then only they can reach to the higher rank when they are mustajib, and they continue to elevate in their batin to reach to the Bhamar Gufa, right? Where Mu'min and Salik, Mu'min and Arif receives the Nur. What Nur? The Nur of guidance, the Nur of Hidayat. for his intellect and soul as well. So we talked about these things, and then we had discussed 4 verses. Light of divinity, which is from Ayah Nur 24 by 35. And we talked about lamp, discussed the lamp. Why lamp? Why did Allah give us the example of lamp, not the sun? And we talked about it because it is accessible. It is in everybody's home. So his mercy, his rahmah, we can see that he gives the example of his light with lamp, meaning we all can reach that nur. We all have the potential ability to reach his nur. It is accessible. And beautifully, the light of the prophethood is also mentioned in Suratul Ahzab 33 by 46, where Prophet Muhammad is called Sirajum Munir, illuminating lamp. So the Prophet in his time was the nur, he was the lamp, he was the illuminating lamp. Until the time of Prophet Muhammad, which was a time of Nabuwat, it was only after the announcement of Prophet Muhammad at Ghadir Khum that the light of Imamat was, Zahurat happened, meaning announcement happened, that now it is the Mawla Ali's time, Imamat's time, and we see Imams in forefront. In the times of Natik, it was only Pegambar or Natik who were in forefront, and Imam used to work behind the veil of Natik. And that is why we always used to think that Imams were in hidden. And hidden we thought not existent. Hidden meaning people did not know about them. They were behind the veil of the Prophet. And we have now learned that Prophet also received Ism Azam, and it was due to the Ism Azam and the Talim of the Imam of his time. And that was Maulana Abu Talib, who gave him the Ism Azam and made him Natik with the knowledge and the ibadat which Prophet Muhammad did in Ghar Hira. But then we see that in Ghadir Khum, Zahurat happened. So the same verse, 33 by 46, which we see here, we can use it for the light of Imamat as well. Siraj Munira in today's time is Imam because he is the light, right? It is the time of Imamat. Very beautifully and interestingly, Allama Sahib in his book mentions that do not limit the light to Pegambar and Imam, but it is for Mu'minins as well. Suratul Hadid 57 by 12 talks about Nur of Mu'minins. So this is the Rahma we see of Imam, that how that lamp is accessible. Every moment can have that light, that Nur in their heart, in their home, in their being. So the light is at 4 levels we see here, right? The Nur of Khuda, the Nur of Prophet, the Nur of Imam, and the Nur of those Mu'mineen who have purified themselves to become one with the Imam. So light upon light indicates that all lights become one. Remember, Nur is one. Functions and terminologies of ranks could be different. But when we talk of Nur, light is one. Then we talked about the lamp being enclosed in glass. And we see the picture here that the lamp, the light, the diya, which we see is enclosed in a glass. An example of it is as if it was a brilliant star, shining star, Kawkaban Durriyu, right? So what we are seeing that the lamp is kept in a niche, in a tak, at a higher place, which also called alcove, which is a dent or recess in the wall, and it is kept there, right? So lamp is enclosed in a glass. In Urdu, we say kandil or fanus, meaning the same thing. What is the ta'wil of this glass? Very interestingly, again, we see that Allama Sahib mentions that ta'wil is, first ta'wil is Isme Azam, his supreme name. And when we know of Isme Azam, which is a Shabd, right? Which is a Ism, which is a name, but it is a supreme name. It is a supreme name, Isme Azam. But then we also learn the term Ism wa Musamma. Ism meaning name, Musamma, the name of that person, the personality. Ism is never without Musamma. If we say somebody's name, I see here Zulfikar. Zulfikar is a name of somebody. So Zulfikar alone is just a word. I can write it down, but it is name of somebody, Zulfikar's name. There's a person involved, right? Similarly, when we think of Isme Azam, the supreme name, it also teaches us that, Allama Sahib teaches us that there is a Ism and Musamma. And remember, our peers have also taught us. In Brahm Prakash, Peer said, Sata Shabad hai Guru Hamara. That Shabd is a Guru, meaning Shabd, meaning Ism. In today's language, we are learning it's Ism, and Musamma is that Guru, is that personality. We also use the term Lafzi Isme Azam and Shaksi. So Lafz again is the word, Shaks is the personality. So Lafzi wa Shaksi. Again, it's the same concept, different language. Sata Shabad hai Guru Hamara. Right? And finally, I have mentioned, because we all know this, Shabd and Guru, we all know. What we don't know, which we have to learn, this terminology. Isam wa Musamma. Lafzi Isme Azam, Shaksi, living Isme Azam, which is Imam-e Zaman. Right? So we understand these terms. And then we have, very interestingly, another tawil of that glass, which is covering the light, is also one of the tawil is Nurani family. And last time I had mentioned that the way we see Prince Amin Muhammad, recently we saw Princess Zahra visiting and doing the work of Imamat, Prince Rahim traveling to meet Kenya's president. Again, all the Nurani family members who are Hudud-e-Din-e Mukarrab. The word Mukarrab means Kareeb, closest. So there are Hudud-e-Din-e Mukarrab, those who are close to Imam. And they are Nurani family. What do? They do the function of protection, because it is the glass which is like a brilliant star. What is the purpose of the glass? That the light in there is protected. Meaning, we are seeing the Nurani family doing the work of the Nur, work of the Imam with Imam, the work of the Imamat to help the Jama'at and Ummah, right? When I say here Nurani family, if we were to go back in the time of Prophet Muhammad, when Imamat was not announced, Prophet Muhammad was protecting the light of the Imam. At that time, Prophet Muhammad was in forefront and he was protecting the light of Imam. How? Because at that time, Zahurat was not happened. So Prophet Muhammad was in forefront and giving ahadith to people about Maula Ali. We do know, right? Kashifun Nahal. He talks about Maula Ali doing the Tawil. In so many different places, we would find he alluding to Maula Ali being his Janashi. He is telling the Ummah that after me, it is Maula Ali. So he was protecting the Nur of Maula Ali until it was not the time to announce his Imamat. So when we say Nurani family, we are also saying Ahle Bayt. It says same meaning, right? Nurani family, Ahle Bayt. The Nurani family of our Prophet and Imam, which is one and the same family. And then another important lesson, which let me see, we have it here. That what is the tawil of the glass? And very beautifully in Suratul Tawbah, Khuda Ta'ala says in chapter 9, Suratul Tawbah, verse 32, that the Khuda Ta'ala will complete this light, no matter how the enemy detested, कितना ही दुश्मनों को बुरा लगे, खुदा ताला अपने नूर को मुकम्मल करके छोड़ेगा. What a powerful words, right? That he will complete his light no matter how people detest it. And when we look at the time of Imamat, beginning from Mawla Ali, there were Dushmanane Deen. There were people who were against Mawla Ali. And we see in the history, though the announcement was done in Gadir Kum, but we see there was a time period where our Imams were persecuted, right? And martyred. No matter how enemy detested, Khuda Ta'ala will complete his light. And today we are in the time of Qiyamah, where Imam is known as, you know, not crowned prince of the whole world. He's not crowned, he's not having any taj as per se, any worldly title, but he is the prince of the whole world. Betaj Badshah, you know. Why do people, it is people who are calling him like that. There's a writer who has called him like that. Why? Because of the work of Imamat for humanity and for Ismaili Jama'at. Imam selflessly works for the Ummah. So no matter how we see in history that Imam had to go to Dor-e-Sattar, right? We see that Imam had to hide, though it was not supposed to be like that. But because of the enemy of the Imam, Imam had to go into Taqiya, meaning go hide behind a veil, behind Taqiya, meaning they were hidden. But look at Hazrat Imam, look at Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah. It was Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah who wrote in his memoirs that the time of hostility and persecution is done with. No more of that. And we see our Imam working very openly in forefront, announcing, Shah Karim announcing in the Canadian Parliament that I am the direct descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. Can you imagine? Where was the time where anybody who would say that they are from Ali-Nabi Aulad Ali, they were hunted, martyred, you know? But today, Imam stands in the Canadian, Parliament and says that I am the direct descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. He is the rightful direct Janasheen of the Prophet Muhammad. So we see this miracle right in front of us, that no matter how much enemy detested, our history is a proof in front of us, beginning from the time of Mawla Ali. But today we see Imam being the uncrowned prince of this world. Everybody who has any issues, they would call upon Hazrat Imam to seek his advice. So it is truly, we are witnessing a miracle in today's time, that how Imam is the Imam for the whole world, Imamun Nas. It is that light which we are talking about being protected, because it is the promise of Allah that the function of the glass is to protect that light no matter what happens. And in different times we see different people are protecting the light, and it helps us to understand that how it is different in the time of Prophet Muhammad. And the reason I say that in the time of Prophet Muhammad, when Mujadala happened, Mujadala was an event where Jews and Christians got together and they wanted to question, actually interrogate Muslim group of people who had been to this in the court of this king, and they were asked questions. And finally, they sent the delegate to Prophet Muhammad to ask questions that explain to us, how are you claiming to be the prophet? And what do you say about Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, or what do you say about Hazrat Musa alayhi salam? And Prophet Muhammad says that, yes, bring your people, I will bring my people. And then he calls upon Panchtane Pak. Maula Ali, Bibi Fatima, Hassan and Hussein. And he takes them under his blanket that these are Ahle Bayt. This is the Nurani family. One of his wife, Salma, was there and she says, can I come into under the blanket as well? And Prophet Muhammad says, no, you cannot. Meaning, she was the family of Prophet Muhammad, but she was not part of the Nurani family. Meaning, we also see this very interesting dynamics that there is a physical family and then there is a Nurani family. Here, we are talking about Nurani family. So, Prophet Muhammad, wife, could not come under that blanket except the Panchtane Pak. In all these history lessons or in current time, what we are seeing is the light being protected. And if anyone wants, wants to read about that event which I'm talking about, it is mentioned in the book Hazrat Ali. So I would recommend you to read that book as well, because it is very important for us to be able to connect all the dots from the history, Quranic verses, and understand all these examples to have very clear understanding that when we are talking about Ayah Nur and Khuda Tala, when he speaks in the language of parables, right, that I will protect this lamp which is enclosed in a glass, and the glass as it were a brilliant star. What is he talking about? Who is he talking about? Because it seems a thing, physical thing, inanimate thing. But behind the veil of these parables, there are personalities mentioned, which is the ta'wil of this verse, and which we are understanding with the mercy of Imam. So very interesting. And when we talk of this brilliant star, glittering star, meaning that there is this manifestations, Zahurat of Tajalliyat, manifestations, right? We had talked about the revelation of the pearl of intellect. You know, how this pearl of intellect was demonstrated in current time to Allama Sahib, because he went through his Qiyamah, meaning he became one with that Nur. Remember, we learned about that he perfects the Nur, and the Nur is at different levels. When it is in the Momin as well, and if the Momin does do the meets the criteria, meaning absolute Farman Bardari, staunch Momin, honest Ibadat, Taqwa, all the conditions when they are met, their light is also completed because that is the promise of Allah, right? So we see that the pearl of intellect was demonstrated to him. Meaning, what is pearl of intellect? We can understand it is that hidden book. It is that hidden book through which there is a continuous nur coming in for a arif, momine arif, to receive that light, to be able to teach it to Jama'at. The way we see in the case of Pir Shams, when he wrote the Brahm Prakash, he was teaching us about Isme Azam. And we understand that Ginan, and it is such a fascinating Ginan, right? So when we understand our Ginan, Quranic verses, all these talimat, it makes us, feel so much gratitude and happiness, and we feel amazing in our being that, wow, this is our tariqah. We understand our tariqah. It makes sense that Quran is also talking about the same thing. Ginan is also talking about the same thing. These are also saying the same thing. It gives mazbuti to our iman. Remember, we pray that Mola, keep our iman firm. That firmness which we are seeking only can come through knowledge. And that is why we are learning from all these sources to make our iman firm. All right. Glittering star, we talked about. Okay, so let's see, why is it so high? Okay. I think you are able to see my screen. Probably I am not. All right, so.
It's just cutting from top.
Cutting from top, right? So, can fix it right now. It's the sixth line. you give me a moment. This is strange. Why are we not able to see the slide? So just a moment if I can fix it. Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
Let's see.
Now we can.
Shukran. All right. So we are now talking about lit from a blessed tree, an olive, right? We are saying, we are continuing with the verse. I've divided into kind of pieces so we can take one part and understand it, right? So it says that this lamp actually is lit from a blessed tree, an olive. Now, what does the olive tree mean? Olive tree is actually universal soul. Olive tree here is the tawil of the olive tree is universal soul, because this tree is not of the east, not of the west. And it gives oil, whose oil is well luminous, nurani, though fire scarce touched it. Very, very interesting words that this tree is neither of the east nor of the west, and it is burning, even if the fire has not touched it. Now, we don't find this tree physically present in the physical world. And the way we've been understanding this verse, it is full of parables. It is full of parables. So we understand that this tree is the tree alluding to universal soul, which is neither of the east nor of the west, right? And the oil actually is Imam. It is the supreme name of the Imam. It is the pure oil. The way we see olive oil being the pure oil, right? We say it virgin oil, pure oil, meaning there is no contamination in it. There is no dirt in it. There is no impurity in it. Why are we saying that? Because the tawil of that oil is the supreme name of the Imam, right? So there is no comparison with the physical oil or physical tree. This is all allegories, right? Another meaning which we can take of the oil, that oil is also ibadat of Isme Azam. When we take the example of oil, it is pure oil, which is Isme Azam, meaning pure ibadat can be done with that Isme Azam. And we understand when I say pure ibadat, can ibadat be impure? Yes, if we are not able to focus or we are thinking thoughts and sitting and intending to do ibadat, but if we are not doing the ibadat, then it is not pure ibadat. If the heart is filled with all the worldly thoughts and worldly worries, then it is not a pure place, so it cannot be pure ibadat. Here we are talking about this pure oil, pure ibadat. And of course, with mercy of Imam, when we talk of at our level, at the level of Mominins, if a Momin fulfills the condition, we can also reach to that level of doing pure ibadat. So tree here, when we say it is also alluding to the Imam, meaning the tree is of Aulad Ali, Al Nabi, right? Al Ibrahim. It is the same family, Al Ibrahim, Al Imran, which is that tree which continues to give the fruit as well. In other words, it says that, right? But here we stay in this verse and not go in other words. So to understand that the olive oil we are talking about, it is such an interesting point here, olive oil, that it continues to burn, even the fire doesn't touch it. And the next is, if I'm not wrong, okay, Tawil here. All right. So we talked about olive tree, universal soul, Imam-e-Zaman, pure oil, pure ibadat, neither of the east nor of the west. Okay. So here I wanted to share that we did talk about last time light upon light, Nurun Allah Nur. And when we reflect on this verse, right, whose oil is well ne luminous, though fire scarce touch it. Fire has not touched it and it burns. And we did talk about, I remember Imam Zainul Abidin, that when the nas happened, meaning Imam Hussain was in Karbala and Imam Maulana Zainul Abidin physically was in Makkah. But the transference of the nur happened regardless of the distance. But there is more to understanding of it. Allama Sahib explains that if you were to take a candle or any lamp, you will see the fire coming out. And let's say fire, you see the fire till here, and you keep a paper here. You don't see fire here, but if you keep this much distance, eventually you'll see this paper burning. The fire didn't touch it. How did it burn? How did this paper burn if the fire did not touch it? Meaning, what we are understanding about this pure oil, even there is no physical contact, even though we are not seeing Nurun Allah Nur, it is Nurun Allah. And this can be applied at very many levels because physical eyes cannot see it. When we say light upon light, at times we have questioned, how is it happening? Why do you say that? What does it mean? Why do I not see it very clearly, physically visible to my eye? Then the answer is, do this experiment physically. Take a candle, you are seeing it's burning, and keep a paper here. After some times, you will see this paper burning. So what is happening in that space which we are not able to see any fire? It is that nur, meaning this is nurani, nur se bharpur. Physically, at times, we are not able to explain how this is happening, but it is happening. For that, what do we need? We need that iman. And that iman can only come with ilm and amal, ibadat and knowledge. When we prematurely start giving higher level of knowledge to anybody who we feel pain for, and we want to teach or share or get excited, and they will say, how do you say that? Show me where is it written or where is the physical evidence of that? And it is difficult to convince because just this experiment tells you that you don't see the fire. It's not touching the paper, but the burning is happening. The result, the outcome of any paper touching the fire, the paper will be burnt, meaning the fire is touching it, but we cannot see it with the physical eyes. Hence, it is all nurani things we are talking about. So it is very interesting that this ta'wil, somebody actually asked me later on, and I was thinking that how do I answer this? And it was mercy that we are discussing this verse which beautifully answers that question, that the fire scarce touched it. You don't see that, but it is happening, right? So alhamdulillah, there are answers, but not enough questions. We have to reflect and look for answers. All the answers are there. Questions came later on. All right, so getting back to what we were talking about, that this oil, the tree which is from neither east nor west, gives us the pure oil. And when we talk that this tree is actually teaching us about the Imam. This Imam is Imamun Nas, as it is mentioned in Suratul Ishra in 17 by 71. And he is also Imamul Muttaqin, as it is mentioned in Suratul Furqan 25 by 74. So I hope that we all have these references and we have highlighted in our Quran, because these are very important verses for us. That Imam is the Imam of humanity as well as Imam of the righteous, meaning Imam of the smileys who are in Bayat of Imam. And these are the Quranic references. And very interestingly, I thought I would share with you, the heading says Imamun Nas and Imam of humanity. It is so important that we have to really open up our eyes with knowledge. And this very simple verse, which is mentioned in Quran, that Imam is the Imam of humanity, and I have shown to you different translations of the Arabic scholar, Shia, Sunni, both, right? So first, Shahi International. Shahi International is the translation which came later on to give it to us in easy English, right? So let's see, what do they say? We never read the bracket because these brackets are meaning these scholars who are translating, they are putting their own words. They are not in the Quran. So look at the translation here. The day we will call forth every people with their record. And if you were to look at the Quranic verse, transliteration, today I'm not showing because I do want you to go back and look at it. You will not find word record there. You will find the word Imam because it is the reference of Imam Nas. Mohsin Khan, who is Sunni, says, look at his long translation, okay? The day when we shall call together all human beings with their Imam. But he doesn't feel enough that it is enough, so he keeps going on explaining himself. Their prophets, their records, good and bad deeds, their holy books like Quran, Torah, Injil. All this is not mentioned in the Quran because he has a hard time understanding Imam. Who is this Imam? Because they don't believe in Imam. Pictol says, on the day when we shall summon all men with their record. Yusuf Ali says, one day we shall call together all human beings with their imams. Yusuf Ali tells us that he's Shia. But there are places where he doesn't even translate it correctly. Shakir says, the day when we call every people with their imam. The objective is that when we want to learn about our imam in the Quran, because in today's time, the biggest test is there are people who would ask, why do you say you are smiley when the smileys or imams are not mentioned in Quran? They are mentioned in Quran. Our imam is imam from the Quran. Our peers, Peer Sadruddin, Peer Shams, they were teaching us from the talim of the Quran how imam is the imam. Today we live in a different world and we need to know about the Quran to be able to tell our children that this is your book of Quran, this is what we study and read, and they have to understand the book. But when they do not know Arabic, when we do not know Arabic, how easy it is to be deceived. One can say it means record, book, whatever they want to say, they can say. And Arabic is a complex language. So many times, Arabic scholars are using the different translation of the one word. One word can have several meanings, but it is the context which helps us understand what is the correct meaning. So we are not going to go into detail of that, but this is enough for us to open up our eyes to take upon ourselves. If we are interested in learning, in seeking, do not just blindly trust on anybody who says anything. Go back, do your research, and read different translations when you are studying one verse, or look for the word-to-word translations, because we don't know Arabic. So we have to go into detail and not just blindly accept whatever is being given to us. We got to become critical. And that's what Imam says, that we need to use our intellect. The meritocracy, we need to apply here as well. So this was just for us that when we understand the tree, this tree is not found in, not in the east nor in the west. So who is that tree? That tree is the Imam. And this Imam is Imamun Nas and Imamul Muttaqin. Light upon light. Very interestingly, we have to understand light upon light, which we started to talk about it earlier as well. And when we say Nurun Allah Nur, Imam after Imam, right? The chain of the light of Imamat continues from Adam to Qayyam, right? Flame upon flame. And we have understood that how At times, it is invisible to our physical eyes. Only the eyes of Iman, which is become stronger with knowledge and ibadat, we will be able to understand and accept. Acceptance is the key. Nurun Allah Nur. Light upon light. Constant, continuous chain of the light of Imamat. So there is a term here which we need to learn, tajaddud, renewal. He continues to renew his light. And in our terminology, we may use this word to understand this word better, though this word is more broader. And the way we see this word Jama, that Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah in his Farman says that we change Jama as if we are changing clothes, we are changing attire, but the Noor is same. So the Noor continues to renew, right? But the Noor is same. From the day one, when I say day one, meaning this cycle, because there is no beginning, there is no end. We believe in cycles. One cycle finishes, other cycle starts. But the same Noor, same chain of the light of Imamat is continuously going on and on and on. That is why Imam is that tree which is not found in this physical world, because it is the Nurani tree of that family. And we are truly blessed to be with Imam. So Imam is the light of knowledge. Imam is the light of guidance, and Imam is the light of recognition. It is very clear for us why and how Imam is the light of knowledge, he is the light of guidance. It is all his hidayat. And it is through the recognition of that Noor that we understand all this. And then it says that Allah gives to whom He wills His light. It is His choice whom He gives. What does Allah do? He actually put forward these parables, these examples, these allegories. Allah knows everything. So how interesting it is that when we look at all these, this verse and the words which are used in this verse, completely allegorical words. And not just one tawil, but tawilat after tawilat. So it is a complex verse to understand, to comprehend. And it continues to evolve, continues to unfold in our being, depending on our ibadat and riyazat and walking on the journey of the knowledge. And it is in the personal world, this light shines. The light of Quran, the light of God shines in Momine Arif, So Allah's light actually is his mazhar, manifestation. So when we see our Imam being that tree, the Noor of Allah has manifested in him. He is the manifestation. He is the tajalli. He is the Noor of Allah, And this lamp which is burning, it is transparent and magnificent like a star. Again, allegories. Continuously burning. No matter how the enemy detests it, it will be perfected. It will be brought, the cycle which is started from Hazrat Adam alayhi salam will be completed, at the time of Qaim. The cycle will be completed. First, there's a time of Natik, who are in front, Imams are in the background, and then comes the cycle of Imaman being in front. No matter how much enemy detests it, but the light will be completed. The deen will be perfected. So it is so beautiful to realize that when we talk of this brilliant star, glittering star, it is that star which is, protecting the light as well. It is that star which is alluding to us to have that inner eye to be able to see, which we don't see. Meaning the Noor, which is there, visible, but not with our physical eyes. First, with our ilmi eyes, ilmul yaqeen. First, it will become visible to us with our knowledge. And eventually, afterwards, gradually, when we continue to go further, it becomes visible through our inner eyes, Batni eyes, because it starts unfolding in our being. And believe it or not, when we talk about this Nurun Allah Nur, Allama Sahib says, and he says, I firmly believe that this is a wazifa, meaning we should recite this as a zikr. When we cannot understand that how it is Nurun Allah Nur, we do this zikr with our families and friends. Nurun Allah Nur, Nurun Allah Nur, Nurun Allah Nur, Nurun Allah Nur. It is a zikr because it is such an elevated um, uh, verse, I would say. We all understand that, Ayah Nur. But this phrase in this verse is full of tawilat, extremely important. And when we recite, we actually invoke this phrase in our being, seeking Imam to unfold the tawilat or the hidden meaning within our being so we can understand. So this is the verse. If somebody wants to do the recitation and repeat it as a wazifa, it's a beautiful practice. What will it do? How will it benefit? It will help us in our reflection. Because without reflection, there is no way we can connect the dots. Because this talim is so spread out. Something we understand from Pir Shams Ginan, something we understand from the Quranic verse, something we understand with hadith. In reality, everything is interconnected. But we have a hard time to connect all the dots because we have not developed that skill of reflection. And reflection can only come when we are seeking, we are invoking these exalted verses, Azkar, Zikr. We remember him as well, but we are invoking the angels which are assigned to these verses. Quran has its own angel. This verse has its own angel because this is a Nurani world we are entering. But beautifully, it has been given to us in our physical hand as a book. But if we want to go into the batin of that book, meaning of that book, tawil of that book, we have to go further in the journey of reciting, reflecting, accepting, seeking, invoking to be able to understand what does it mean. Meaning, all of us need to learn to do reflective ibadat. There's a term, reflective ibadat. The way we know, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah actually explained, he gave us hukum, khayal karo. Tumhe be kalak khayal karo. How are we going to reflect? And I will talk further about it on Saturday also. So inshallah, all of you will be there on Saturday morning to connect more to what I'm saying today in different words, in different means. So coming back to our verse, he guides whom he wills. Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah has already told us that whoever will work hard, whoever desires, will be able to get it. Any rank you want in your batin, you will be able to get it. Prophet Muhammad says that Ali, you are from me and I am from you. There is no difference when we talk about the Noor, I Noor. There is no difference between the Natik, Prophet Muhammad, and Maula Ali. They both were fulfilling their functions, but Noor-wise, they are one and the same. When we talk of Noor, we have to understand we're not talking about their physical beings, physical body, but in luminosity, in spirituality, in Nuraniyat, in Ruhaniyat, in their knowledge, they were one. And Allah is the, when we say Allah is the heavens, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. Allahu nurus samawati wal ards. Meaning, we are also actually, we can relate to the hadith of Prophet Muhammad when he says, Ana darul hikmata wa ali babuha. And the other hadith, Ana madinatul, I am the city of knowledge and Ali is the gate. I am the house of the wisdom, and Ali is the gate, right? We know these hadiths, meaning what we are learning, heavens and the earth, city and the gate, house and the gate, same things. They are same thing, meaning the house as well as the gate, or the city as well as the gate, they both are Noor. In Nuraniyat, in Batin, in Ruhaniyat and Nuraniyat, they both are Noor, based on the Kulliya, the principle of Nurun Allah Noor. Light of prophethood and light of imamat is one and the same. So when we understand this, when we enter into the city of the knowledge through the gate, we are in one place only. It is the Nur. But physically, we have to take actions, and we've talked about it, right? We cannot be standing at the gate and say, Salam Sahib, Salam Sahib. Yes, Mola, we found you. That is not enough. We have to take actions and enter into the book to study, to do the work. When Imam has given us this farman to be meritocratic. Today, actually, when we were just listening in our farman session, recitation session, our friend Inara read about it, meritocratic society. The Imam is giving us hidayat. So it remained in my mind, and somehow when we are talking about I Nur, which seems so complex words, have we ever thought of applying our abilities to understand these words? Have we ever taken our own effort to read this? Because it is required, it is Imam's hukum that you need to be meritocratic. So have we only applied the meritocracy to the worldly education, worldly knowledge, or worldly business success or work success? Have we applied this ability which is given to us by our Imam in this knowledge? So when we are talking about the gatekeeper or the gate or the house or the city, it is all Nur. Exactly the way we say Allahu Nuru Samawati wal Ars. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. So remember, we do not look at the physical being, physical body, corporeality. But majority of the time, why people get stuck, he is above, he is lower, and we need to do this, we do not need to do that, when they look at the physical being. And that's why Pir said this verse, right? Ek kach fikr munivar humne tamari, manas rupe sahib janunji. The corporeality of Imam, the physical appearance of the Imam limits us because we only look at with our physical eyes. We have to close our eyes and look at Imam with our reflective eyes through the knowledge to be able to make our Iman firm, to be able to see the Noor of the Imam. All the sublime secrets which are hidden in the Noor of Imam, in the recognition of Noor. All this is available to us only if we were to take interest. So today we completed this verse and we kind of reviewed, and I added new points. And Alhamdulillah, Shukr Mola, I did little go bit fast today because I wanted to complete it today. So forgive me if it was too fast, but I'm here. If friends have any questions or comment, Ji.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. It is amazing. We think about it that we have learned this verse. And, today we learned actually a new zikr as well, which can enhance our understanding. And with Mawla's mercy, we can, inshallah, understand the deeper secrets behind this beautiful verse of Nurun ala Nur. And I really enjoyed when you said, like, yes, we are listening and the Quranic, the translations, how the Arabic scholars are adding these things. It is so important that we go back to the transliteration and read. And it is very important. And I truly, I think, appreciate that we do need to pick up, we need to make notes and highlight it in the Quran. So whenever we go back, it will give us that glad tiding that we've talked about this, we have learned this, and we'll know Otherwise, I think we find ourselves consistently complaining that, oh, I've never heard this. I've never heard this. So inshallah, if we get into this habit and we start doing this, we will set ourselves so many reminders that we have talked about this, and we can go back to it and review it. So amazingly done. Thank you so much, Niamat Saba. Friends, if you have any questions, any reflections, or any comments, please do come forward. I think my favorite part was, I have never thought of it like Kandil was Imam's Nurani family, how they have been participating and enhancing the light for Mola, like in the institutions and all of his work. So it was really good for me to hear that. Ji Zebi Saiba, you can unmute and ask.
Yali Madat Niyamat Saiba. I don't know how, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I just had a question. When you said the words are, they were natik before the nas came in, after the imams came. So,
Imam, tell me your question, then we could discuss.
yeah, my question was when Gadir Kum, the Prophet proclaimed that Ali is the master of who I am. So when did the actual light transfer from Prophet to Ali?
It transferred in reality when Maulana Abu Talib left this world physically, because Nurun Allah Nur means Imam after Imam, father Imam, son Imam. So Maula Ali's father was Maulana Abu Talib. And when he gave the Nur to Maula Ali became Imam. But the announcement happened at Gadir Kum. What do we miss is that we think that Maula Ali became Imam at Gadir Kum. That is incorrect. Imam became Imam when Maulana Abu Talib, the previous Imam, Lahik Imam, left this world. The way we see, after Maula Ali, Imam Hussain became Imam. After Imam Hussain, Maulana Zalaluddin became Imam. Similarly, Maula Ali became Imam when the previous Imam, Maulana Abu Talib, left this world.
So what's the difference between Natik and Nas?
Oh, these are very different words. Natik meaning the prophet. Natik is someone who brings the Sharia, right?
Okay.
Hazrat Adam was a Natik, Hazrat Noah was a Natik, Hazrat Ibrahim was a Natik, Hazrat Musa, Hazrat Isa, and Prophet Muhammad was Natik. Hazrat Dawood was not Natik, Hazrat Ayub was not Natik, Hazrat Idris was not Natik. They were all Pagambar. They were all messengers. So there is a term, in English, there's no proper term. Everybody is prophet or messengers. But there's a distinction. And sometimes you would hear major prophet and minor prophet. Just to create this distinction, it's not a proper terminology. So when you ask who is the Natik, Natiks are those who bring Sharia. Nas is a term which is used when the Nur is transferred from the previous Imam to the current Imam, the present Imam. So these are two very different words. What you are asking, that Gadir Khum, did the Nas happen? No, he was already an Imam. But his Zahurat happened, meaning the whole world was told about him as Imam. Otherwise, they were in Satar. They were hidden. They were behind the veil.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you for asking.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Any other questions or any comments, friend? Any reflections? G. You can unmute. D.
Yeah, Yalimuddin Niyamat Saiba. Yeah, the explanation is very interesting, you know, when you say that Hazrat Abu Talib was the Imam, and when he died in the year 619, he passed on the Imamat to Hazrat Imam Ali. And it's only in Gadir Qum that the Zahurat happened. So can you just explain a little more about the role of Bibi Fatima in in this passing of the nas, or passing of the nas from Hazrat Abu Talib to Hazrat Imam Ali? What role does Bibi Fatima play, being the daughter of Prophet Muhammad? Because when we talk about even Imam says that I'm from the direct line of from Prophet Muhammad, and through Bibi Fatima and Hazrat Imam Ali. So then what role does Bibi Fatima play here, and what is her status, in that cosmic sense?
Her status is very elevated. And the way you can understand that we have to start with Maulana Abu Talib's father. To understand that answer, we have to start from Maulana Abu Talib's father, meaning the previous Imam. And his name was Maulana Abdul Muttalib. Because according to the principle of Nur and Allah Nur, Maulana Abu Talib became Imam from where? Who made him Imam? The previous Imam made him Imam, and that was Abdul Muttalib. So Abdul Muttalib, from him, the Nur divided into two, meaning father of Maula Ali and father of Prophet Muhammad. Maulana Hazrat Abdullah and Maulana Abu Talib. Abu Talib being the father of Maula Ali, and Hazrat Abdullah being the father of Prophet Muhammad. So the Nur divided into two. From Hazrat Abdullah came Prophet Muhammad, from Maulana Abu Talib came Maula Ali. Both these Nur connected, united in Bibi Fatima, being the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad and the wife of Maula Ali, and she having sons, Hasnain, Maulana Hassan and Maulana Hussain. And that is why the Nur united in her being, and that is why Hazri Imam's Hazri Imam's surname is Al-Hussaini, because we have to remember that the Nur, which was separated in the time of Maulana Abdul Muttalib, Abu Talib and Hazrat Abdullah, Maulana Abu Talib, Abdullah, it went to Prophet Muhammad, Maula Ali, and then it united in Bibi Fatima. And then again from Bibi Fatima here comes Maulana Hassan and Maulana Hussain. And it is Hussain who became the Mustaqar Imam, who got the Nas from Maula Ali. And from Maulana Hussain, the Imamat continued. That is why Hazri Imam is Nur Maulana Shah Karim Al-Hussaini Hazri Imam. Or if we say Maulana Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah Al-Hussaini, pick up any Imam's name, you will find Al-Hussaini. It is from the Hussain this name comes, because the Nur was united in Hussain. Ali and Prophet Muhammad were separate. They both were Nur, and this Nur united in Bibi Fatima. I hope this helps.
Yes, very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And what is your name, Ma?
I'm Dilshad. I'm
Dilshad.
sorry.
Thank you, Dilshad. It's okay, Dilshad. Thank you for asking.
Subhanallah, subhanallah, wonderful explanation, Yamat Saba. Friends, we'll take one last comment or reflection. Any friend, anything touched your heart. This is one of the beautiful verses which Maulana Hazir Imam has given us in 2008, and today's 2024, we're still talking about it. So I guess we're still talking about it. We're still learning about it. So any reflection or anything which stayed with you, please do come forward. Ji Shamim Saiba.
आज का सेशन बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत नॉलेजेबल था। और आपने जो बात बताई कि पता नहीं मैंने सही समझा या नहीं, कि रूहानियत में भी मेरिटोक्रेसी है, या रूहानी दर्जात में भी, ये बात बहुत अच्छी लगी मुझे।
बेशक, बिल्कुल। I love it the way you said it, that there's a meritocracy in Ruhaniyat too. In Quran, it says there's a verse in chapter 3, Sabiku, there are 3 words, Sabiku, Sarihu, Fafiru, meaning run, uh, walk fast, take the lead, meaning that become meritocratic in Ruhaniyat as well. So yes, you are absolutely correct. Hazrat Imam says the word meritocracy. In Quran, it says Sabeku Sarehu. Rush, run, and take the lead, take the sabkat, meaning in batini ibadat, in batini taraqi. We are not talking about physical worldly competition, no competition. This is a strange journey. You pray for all and you pray for everybody to elevate. So beautiful concept of meritocracy in Ruhaniyat too. Thank you for learning that. It's amazing to share. We shared. Thank you.
Thank you, Yali Madad.
And with that,
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Thank you, Yamataba, for a beautiful session. Mawla bless you. And inshallah, enlighten all our hearts to understand this most important and beautiful verse which Mawla has blessed us with. So thank you so much, Yamataba. Thank you so much, friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Ya Ali Madad, Ya Ali Madad.
thank you, Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
याली मदद नेमत
याली
साहबा
मदद,
इनाम
याली
मुस्तफा
मदद। so much.
आज बहुत डीप अंडरस्टैंडिंग समझ आई कुछ कुछ चीजें हाँ कुछ कुछ वो जो आई मीन बिल्कुल ही पता नहीं था और आज अंडरस्टैंडिंग बहुत समझ आई है और स्पेशली वो जो आपने कहा था ना कि वो नूर इस तरह से बीबी फातिमा से फिर बाद में वो जॉइंट हो गया एंड इमामत हुसैन की अल हुसैनी की वहां से चली तो दैट वाज वेरी दिस थिंग ब्यूटीफुली आई मीन बिल्कुल नहीं पता था कि भाई बीबी फातिमा से फिर यू नो एक जॉइंट हो गया एंड ऑल दैट पर बहुत डीप अंडरस्टैंडिंग थी मौला आपकी सेवा कबूल करे दीन दुनिया में सुखी सलामत आबाद रखे फैमिली और आल औलाद की सलामती रखे
आमीन आमीन आपकी दुआओं से चल रहे हैं बस आमीन
नहीं बस
याली
दुआ
मदद।
सबके वी ऑल नीड आवर प्रेयर्स वी ऑल नीड प्रेयर्स
आमीन आमीन
याली मदद
याली
Ya Ali
मदद
Madad, Ya Ali Madad.
याली मदद
याली मदद
Mother.
Yali Madad.
याली मदद याली मदद